Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, the intention is to guide you to the intense energy that we are facing from today, that is actually the day that I'm recording, 16th of July, till towards the full moon that we're gonna have on 24th of July 2024. So as I said, that's gonna be a really intense week, and I will do my best to try to give you and share with you the different aspects of why it's an intense week and why it's like an important full moon. So we need to work wisely with this full moon. So first of all, we are going towards a big test. As for all full moon, when there is a full moon, there is a big closure in our life. What does it mean? That it means that we have been asked to release some part of our life that are not resonating anymore with us. And this full moon, it's really important because it's a big test. Why it's a big test? Because it's a second full moon that was happening in Capricorn, that is going to happen in Capricorn. The first full moon was the 24th and 22nd, or 20, depending where you are in the world, 22nd of June. So the question for you is, what happened exactly during on 24th and 22nd of June when we had the first full moon in Capricorn? Well, if you look back, you will see a pattern. You will see a sort of initiation test from the universe that wanted you to see a specific pattern in your life that doesn't work anymore for you, and finally release it during this full moon in Capricorn, the 24th of July. That's the key message for this full moon in Capricorn. So there is something that you are noticing, and finally you need to see it and release it. So this is why the energy is going to be quite intense. This new moon, it's, as I said, at 29 degrees, and that represents a mastery degree. The previous full moon was at 1 degree. So it was like an initiation test, as I said before. So it's also interesting to understand that 29 is degrees represent, in the Sabian symbol of the degree, represent a woman that is reading tea leaves. So literally, this Sabian symbol of 29 degrees represent that we are finally ready to let go of specific pattern in our life that doesn't resonate with us, because the woman reading tea leaves, it's honoring our spiritual nature and is helping us connecting more to our intuition. As I said, it's going to be really an intense week because I'm recording today, that is the 16th of July, and yesterday, 15th of July, we had Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus at 26 degrees. It was quite an intense energy yesterday because Mars, it's all about taking action. Uranus, it's all about sudden changes. In Taurus, it's all connected with money. It's all connected with our values. It's all connecting with our material world. And also, it's all connected with all our material worlds. So it's like we need to be ready this week. It's going to be an intense week to have sudden but solid and beneficial changes in our life, because that kind of changes might be really scary, but it's going to be beneficial for our evolution. So the main question that you need to ask yourself is, am I going to repeat the same pattern, the same cycle, or am I finally tired and sick and tired about this stupid cycle, and finally I can let it go in order to start a new path, a new beginning? So, as I said before, this new moon is talking about big closure. Big closure, where it will be this big closure? This big closure will be, you need to check in your birth chart where it's falling 29 degrees. If it's falling in the 7th house, then the big closure will be connected to a possible business partnership if you're single, to a possible end of a marriage. If it's connected to your 4th house, maybe it's connected to a family member. So you need to check carefully it's important to check in which house is falling with 29 degrees in Capricorn, and that will be the key of your closure that you can work on, you can be more aware of this closure, of this pattern that is repeating if you were not aware before. So, as I said, this new moon is opening like something that is opening like a new door, something that is unfamiliar. And you might feel a lot of intensity because you know that you need to release something, but at the same time you are scared. I will try to, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, I will try to prepare a sort of list for you per sign, so I can guide you according to your ascendant, to let you understand, if you're not really familiar with astrology, to let you understand how is full moon in which area of your life or business is going to impact you. So stay tuned in my next communication on Telegram or here on the community in YouTube. Saying that, a lot of astrologers are talking about that this full moon, it's a karmic full moon. So there will be a big end of a karmic cycle that we are continuing to repeat since the last, since the last years. Actually, what you need to release during this full moon is something that you are continuing to procrastinate, you are continuing to postpone since the last 6 months. So for sure, go back in your life. What happened in your last 6 months? And then the last full moon, the 24th and 22nd of June, it was like an initiation phase, like remembering us, reminding us, hey, this is your pattern that I continue to repeat. You want to repeat or release it? That's the big test from the universe for this full moon. As I said, it's a karmic full moon. Why it's karmic? For two main elements. First, because Saturn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of karma, as we all know. Second, because Pluto is also the planet of karma. And guess what? Pluto, which is at 1 degree in Aquarius, is conjunct the full moon in Capricorn the 24th of July. So what does it mean? That with this big full moon, there will be also a big transformation within ourselves. And Pluto is pushing us to be super honest with ourselves about what is not working really in our life, in our business, in our life, in our friendship, in our marriage, and so on. So be really close with honest with yourself. And it might be difficult because you might feel with this energy, because there is Pluto, you might feel a lot of intensity. So the first intensity from this week was Mars and Uranus. Then the 24th, we're going to have Pluto conjunct the full moon. That's going to add a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion, a lot of, oh my God, what is happening in my life? But it might be really scary to face and be honest with yourself, saying, well, my marriage doesn't work. Well, I'm sick and tired of this job, or I don't resonate anymore with these friends and I need to let them go. So it depends where it's falling in your chart. So it might be a lot of intensity. You might be really scared to face it, but you need to, because it will be a big blessing in the sky. So Pluto is requiring us to change and is illuminating what is out of balance in our life. Why that? Because Pluto is, sorry, I made a mistake before, it is at 0 degree. So there is 1 degree difference only between the full moon and Pluto. So 0 representing the Sabian symbol of the degree, a new beginning. So first, you need to release the intensity and the fear to move beyond your pattern and move beyond your comfort zone. And then finally, Pluto is opening a new door for freedom and a new part of your life that is starting. I recommend you to do this kind of step, to jump right now, because this kind of intensity, this kind of energy is going to come back between 4th of September and November. So if you are not facing it now, there's going to be a lot of more intensity between September and November. So I advise you to really start this process and be truly honest with yourself about what is not working in your life. Another curious aspect, as you know, I always try to bring different aspect, different energetical aspect during the planetary transit, is that if we look at mundane astrology, Capricorn represent the government, the moon represent the people, and Pluto at 0 degree in Aquarius represent giving back the power to the people. So it's perfectly in line, also historically speaking, with what our planet is facing. So we are in a period of full revolution. We're in a period of a lot of transformation, internal and external transformation, where a lot of people are owning their value, they are connecting to their inner sovereignty, and they are stepping into their power. And so we are moving towards the age of Aquarius, where the power will be back to the people. So this is another perspective to really also understand not only that the change is going to happen inside ourselves, but also the change is happening also outside. What are the main aspects that this full moon is doing with the other planet? So we said already this fourth aspect with Pluto, but we have other 4 aspects in order to better understand how to navigate this energy. First aspect, it's all about the moon is trining Mars, so it's giving a lot of energy to go into action, to say, okay, I really need to change. And the full moon now is supported by Mars with a lot of energy to support us into this step that we have to do. So then we have the moon that trine Uranus. So it's all about sudden changes. It's all about sudden changes, but these sudden changes are giving us a lot of a sense of liberation, a sense of freedom. And then we have the third aspect that it's about the moon that is sextile Neptune. So the full moon is sextile Neptune, is connecting us with a lot of intuition. So we will be really intuitive, and we know inside ourselves what we need to change. And with Mars, we need really to step into the action. But of course, Neptune, it's all about connected with intuition. So we really need to know, so we really feel what is we need to change in our lives to feel better, to feel fulfilled. But on the less harmonious side, if you are in a lot of resistance, you are in a lot of fear, you might go and numb your emotion. So that is the less harmonious side of Neptune. You might be numbing and go into resistance. While the key here, because we have a sextile, the key here is surrender to the transformational process inside you in order to see everything that is outside that is changing completely your reality. And you will receive a lot of support, because with the new moon, with the full moon trining Uranus is giving us also new solution, is giving us new resources to support our upcoming changes in our family life, in our work, in our environment, and so on. So the key here is surrender to the transformational process. Last aspect, it's all about the moon squaring Chiron. Chiron is an asteroid which represents our inner wound. And so it's like this aspect is telling I, hey, toc, here is the wound, and you know that it is the wound because you are connected to your intuition, and you know intuitively inside yourself that that is your wound, and you need to face it. You need to have the courage to face your wound. I give you an example. For example, let's assume that you're a person that maybe you were not really supported by your dad. Your dad was not really present in your early childhood. So you are like a sort of fear of abandonment issue, fear of abandonment. And so you continue to repeat the same pattern. You continue to attract a toxic relationship. So now you can see it. You're aware, and you can finally take a conscious step to leave that toxic relationship, for example. Last aspect, let's take also now medical astrology. For medical astrology, Capricorn is connected with the spine, and Capricorn is connected to spine, to the skeleton. So it's a good moment during the full moon to do a healing meditation connected to your spine, because the spine is connecting to your ancestral trauma from your family tree. So if you want to clear some old trauma stemming from your ancestors or from your family tree, it's a wonderful moment to do that. Last but not least, I give you another perspective how to see with full moon, and a wonderful question that you need to ask yourself during this full moon. So this full moon, as always, we have the Sun that is in Cancer at 29 degrees, that is opposite to the moon that is 29 degrees in Capricorn. So the Sun in Cancer, it's all about where we are coming from. It's all about our privacy, it's all our home, it's all our family roots. And the question for you is that Capricorn, it's all about our responsibility. It's all about our responsibility. It's all about where we want to move forward in our life. So where we are coming from and where we want to move in our life. So the main question for this full moon that you need to ask yourself is what I need to release. And in order to understand, the second question is what will be my priorities from here, from now, towards the end of 2024. That's the key in order to understand this full moon, in order to have a plan, might be a business plan, if you want to apply this full moon to your business, might be a personal plan, life plan, if it's related to your personal life. But the main question is what will be my priorities from now till the end of 2024. That's the key. I trust this information was really useful to you. Thank you all the time to listening to me. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, because you will help me a lot to create more and more video. And please comment and share your experience, because I'm really curious what is going on in your life, and to have a reference point. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye.